Welcome to Misfit HQ. I'm Drew, that's Hunter, and we are here to talk you through movement strategy for 23.3. And a little doozy of a workout here, fairly quick, little bit of motor, a little bit of skill, some meathead stuff, a little something for everybody, basically. So we're going to start with the wall walk. And this is kind of an interesting thing because we don't need to go that hard at the beginning of this workout. In fact, it's detrimental to your overall score for a lot of people. We also don't want time under tension. So we really need to think about moving and just having that mindset of really breathing through the reps and not allowing for time under tension, but also not allowing ourselves to really rush anything. So I'm gonna have Hunter go ahead and set up here. What we want to avoid at all costs is wall walking to a point where your hands are near the line and then slowly going back towards the line. A lot of people without the shoulder mobility to be able to handle that will have an issue. So he gets there and then really gets that time under tension, gets into a tough position. It's going to mess up the rest of his workout. So you're gonna think, oh, those people that have the big long steps, it's easier for them. That's because it is easier and you should do the exact same thing. So Hunter's gonna go ahead and give us a 3 or 4 stepper here. He's breathing through it because he doesn't need to rush. He is going to retrace and come back down. Go ahead and stand up. It's a little counterintuitive, but we need to stay calm, but also minimize that time under tension. And again, if you struggle with that final little bit getting up close to the wall, really try to reach back while you still have access and you're not in that handstand. Next, we're going to talk about strict handstand push-ups. This is the type of movement where we need to, at all costs, defend the shapes that we are in until it is absolutely necessary for us to break position. So I'm going to have Hunter kick up and give us 4 reps, and I want you to watch his posture. Good. Everything is nice and stacked. We're in a nice straight line, and while that might seem like another one of those, oh, must be nice type situations, that makes this movement easier. We want to be tight, and we want to use that connective tissue that actually connects our feet all the way to our hands. When we do that, we have the ability to move through space and use our pressing muscles, and it's just this, nice short range of motion type movement. If you have to get into ones, you've got 1 or 2 left in a round, and you do have to get into that arch position, it is what it is. We got to get the work, the reps done to finish the workout. But again, defend at all costs the positions that you're in, especially when you're a little bit more fresh. A little is going to go a long ways when it comes to this. Anything else on the strict?
Nope. I think just like small sets are totally fine as long as you're disciplined about kicking back up. No use in grinding through reps 7, 8, and 9 when you've still got, 11 through 20 to go. So the small sets are fine. You probably have a little bit more time than you might think, like in the entirety of the window.
And that extends to the end of that first set too. If you're really thinking about getting into that second set and maybe finishing that, let's say he's got 6 left and I know that he can do 6, but he's like, that's about it. Let's go 3 and 3 on that one and then maybe save that bigger set or, rush that final set when it comes to the second set of 20.
It depends if you're someone who's like not super confident about the barbell they're about to hit. Like me, I didn't want to fail 185, so I was okay with doing a couple extra sets.
Absolutely.
Same thing before 225.
You might think we're going to skip over the double unders. We are not going to skip over the double unders. You get to skip over the double unders. You don't need to do any reps. At a certain point in this workout, you will have to remind yourself, or that buddy system that we always talk about on the podcast, someone needs to remind you to relax, okay? This is not going to help you. This is not going to help you. This versus this is not going to help you. So again, really think about staying relaxed. Your brain is going to tell you, we're really using those pressing muscles. We're using some of the pulling muscles here. You need to get into some really crappy positions. Do not listen. Either be ready to tell yourself to relax or have somebody there to tell you to relax so you can just get the movement done, because it is really just something that's in there for most athletes as it's like a chunk of time taken up. It doesn't really do anything to the athlete. And if that's not the case for you, this workout becomes a lot different. Last but not least, we're going to talk about snatching. We're going to talk about it in a few different ways. We already addressed the fact that we do not need to get shot out of a cannon at the beginning of this workout. It is a little bit on the short end, but we still, unless you're worried about, one of those early time caps, we do not want to be going very hard. So that means even at the 95-65, I want Hunter to be doing between 2 and 4 sets on that. Basically, you can go based on feel. When I said to Sherb, he did 7.53. I said less than 10, and then break up what's left into 2 sets. Okay, we really want to have that happen. Athletes at a high level, I would still ask them to do 2 sets just to really set you up to have the right feeling going into that first set of strict handstand push-ups. Now, as we move through this, it's really important to understand, we get into that 135 barbell. I want to see an athlete really fall under the bar here. This position right here, even with 135, 185 pounds, is going to save your shoulders more than it is to get into the muscle snatching or to get into those long turnovers. So while it is a stacked position up overhead, I really want to see an athlete falling underneath the barbell, standing up quick to reduce time under tension, and then dropping it. Last but not least, if you follow Misfit Athletics, you've been doing positional work all year long within your snatches, and now is the time that you get to use that. So I'm going to have Hunter just set up in power position here real quick. From this position, this is a bit exaggerated. This is a sort of a CrossFit power position, but with his shoulders behind the barbell and a nice knee bend here, if he can arrive at this point, he doesn't need a big pull, and he doesn't need to do anything crazy with his torso. So you can go ahead and do a squat snatch right now, and it's just not really very noisy, right? His torso is moving through space. He's setting himself up in a really good spot. Go ahead and do one more. Again, getting there makes the rest of this, the hard part of the lift, much easier. And if 225, what is the women's weight on this? 155. 225, 155. If that barbell is heavy for you, you're going to want to jerk it off the floor. You're really going to want to rip it from there. It is much more important to end up in that position and make the hard part of the lift easier. Anything else on the snatches?
Nope. I think everybody should know where they fall as far as their strength and capacity with each of those weights. So, for me, it was that knowing that 225 bar was going to be really heavy, so being smart about how I attacked the previous 3 bars and making sure that I wasn't snatching like a jackass even when the weights are a little bit lighter. Hitting good positions even at 135 helped me snatch 185 more effectively. So
don't rush the wall walks. Nice clean steps going back, especially if you struggle with shoulder mobility issues. Handstand push-ups, get yourself in a nice, strong, stacked position, and then move fast. Double unders, stay nice and relaxed, and really think about your positions on the barbell here. The barbells prior to it really mattering is just about, minimizing time under tension. We do not get points on the way down. So again, make sure you get into a really good position, fall under the bar, stand it up nice and quick, and then drop it. We are about to head into the studio to do a full podcast on this. You're going to be able to have, warm up and strategy and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the guys that just did the workout. If you're new to the channel because of the Open, we are Misfit Athletics. We have a ton of content just like this on the rest of our channel. And we have a website, misfitathletics.com, where you can get a 2-week free trial to get started on our programming. A lot of content here on the YouTube channel really goes with the program. It makes a lot of sense. So again, misfitathletics.com, 2-week free trial. Good luck.